that's going. I got it live here. Wait. Jean-Paul, I know you're there.
Or I could have just done a live from my phone.
Oh, good. It just takes a little time for.
No, I'm
Thank
saying
you.
is that the conversation. You could invite me to
Uh,
have a conversation with you.
hi, Dimoha. How's it going? All right, so we're waiting for some Facebook friends and some of our friends to log on Instagram. Good afternoon,
Hi,
everybody. Hi. Hey, Lily, how's it going? Hi, sweetheart. I'm so glad you could join us today. We're just waiting for a few students to log on onto our live chat on YouTube, and then we'll get started. This is Maureen.
Hello.
Oh, your chum is joining us.
Well, I said I wanted to get my phone, but you said I had to stay. Give me a second, I'll get my phone.
Go. I'll get it. So, see. Lily, where are you from? I'm sure that you are exaggerating. But I'm glad you have joined the live sessions, because even just listening can learn a lot, really improve. You're from Saudi. Very cool. Well, it's a pleasure meeting you, Lily. A real pleasure meeting you. All right. Lily's from Saudi Arabia.
Oh, right.
And Demoha, where are you from? Hello, CTS. How's it going? Is it Abdullah or is it Ryan? Which one? All right. Are you guys ready to learn a little bit more on how to speak like a native speaker? Nawal! Yay! I'm so excited. All right, guys, a formal introduction. This young lady is Maureen.
Hi.
And hi, Lucas. And today she is joining us.
Minka.
Hi, Minka. Hello, Anas. Sorry, I saw your handle as Lucas. Hello, Anas. Nice to meet you. So today, guys, as promised, we are going to be talking about how we can speak like a native speaker. And I promise you, it has got it has got very little to do with grammar and even pronunciation. Pronunciation is really important, but it's far more simple than what you can imagine. So we are going to get started right away. Anas, I know you miss your school.
Aww.
So I miss my school too. So I'm going to show you something, and I want you to tell me if you know what this object is. Do you know what this is?
Just show the bottom though.
I can't put it on, but when I plug it in.
Hi, Dylan.
How's it, Dylan? When I plug it in, it goes bzzz, bzzz, bzzz. Anyone? Hello, Mariam. Anyone? Food master thingy. A food masher
thingy.
A food masher thingy.
Mm.
Wow. Now there is some local language right there. Thanks, Dylan. All right. So this has a very special name. Miriam, how's it? This is a very special name. All right. And it is blender. It's a blender. All right. And we use it to do something in the kitchen, which you're going to discover now. How we say what we do with this is very much the example that I am going to use to demonstrate how it is a lot easier to speak like a native than it is to try and be formal. All right. So, Maureen, I believe that today you utilized the liquefier to emulsify your soup.
I used the blendy thingy to blitz my food.
There you go. She used the blender thingy to blitz her food. She didn't utilize the liquefier to emulsify the soup. Okay. So it is a lot easier to speak like her than it is to speak like me.
Yeah.
All right. A lot easier. So what you need to remember is that when we are amongst native speakers, you got to remember that they don't speak like they've got a dictionary in their mouth. I promise you. Yes, there is a difference. Mariam asked if there's a difference between this blender and the normal one. I'm assuming you're talking about the food processor, the big one that... Yes, there is. This makes soup and baby food. All right. Good question. Hi, Anna. Nice to see you. So, Nas, I want you to look at this. All right. I said it earlier on. This is some soup. And today I used the blender to make the soup. I blitzed it. Can you tell me which vegetables I used to make the soup? How's it, Dingbat?
Whoa.
Hey, stand closer because you're kind of chopped down. Can you tell me what vegetables I used to make the soup, guys? Yeah, this is Elise, but she calls herself Dingbat Chief. God knows why. Anyone? Aha, carrots. I also used potatoes. And I used butternut, which is a squash, maybe potatoes, yes. There are tons of herbs. No oranges. Butternut, yes. Thank you, Larissa. So there are a ton of different things in here. There are vegetables, there are herbs, and there are spices in here, right? But can you tell? No, you had to guess, right? If I open it, you will see that it has been emulsified.
Blended.
That's the word you want to use.
Blended.
Not even. You actually,
Blitzed.
we want to say blitzed.
Why would there be baked beans?
No baked beans. Who said baked beans? Dylan. We don't put baked beans in
blitzy soup.
In blitzy soup. Or do we?
I don't.
Okay. So can you see that it's blended, right? You can't see the vegetables. Guys, that's what you need to do. It's the key phrase here. You need to blend in. If you're a non-native speaker of English and you want to feel more confident when you're speaking with native speakers, you've got to blend in. So now we are going to demonstrate how a native speaker does not actually speak and how you should speak. All right.
Not all the time.
Obviously, guys, it depends on the situation. But here we're talking about general English and increasing your confidence, speaking as naturally as the next native speaking person in an everyday situation, which forms the bulk of your English language speaking. You don't always speak to the dean at your university or go to professional interviews. The bulk of your English speaking is going to be with other English speakers. And if you want to sound like a native speaker, you've got to try and imitate what the native speaker does, right? So let's get going. So Maureen, shall we go for a stroll?
No, we can go for a walk.
Really? You don't want to go for a stroll?
No, I don't want to stroll.
What do you want to do?
I want to walk. I want to go
She
for a
wants
walk.
to walk. She doesn't want to go for a stroll. Let's organize a dinner party.
How about we have a braai?
She doesn't want to have a dinner party. She wants to have a braai. For the non-South Africans out there, a braai is a barbecue. Are you sure you don't want to have a dinner party?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Oh my goodness. I'm in the mood for sushi. Don't you want some sushi?
I could smash some sushi.
She could smash some sushi. She's not in the mood for sushi. She could smash the sushi. Like, smash. Oh my goodness. Did I just blow your mind? Did she just blow your mind? I'm sure she did. Hi, Jacqueline. Hi. The lesson was so enjoyable, teacher.
It was a rad lesson.
Not enjoyable?
No, it was rad.
Apparently, it was a rad lesson. Not enjoyable. Rad. Epic.
Amazing.
And I'm quite fond of him.
Ooh, I schmark him. He's nice.
What?
He's nice.
He's nice. Remember those times in class where I told you not to use nice? In this particular case, you can. And the reason you can is because it comes with body language. I'm going to ask you to repeat that. So, are you fond of him?
He's nice.
All right. It means she likes him. All right. So,
He's nice. It's rad.
Elise says that she could smash some sushi too.
Yeah, me too.
Totally rad.
So much.
Nomsy noms.
So much.
All right. So, if you're going to hang out with my sister and her friends, that's what you can expect. Easy, digestible English, not the English that you find in dictionaries. All right. And I know that this sounds counterintuitive for most of you that are studying all this vocabulary, but this is how it is, guys. And this young lady here has a ton of experience also.
Say it again.
She's got a ton of experience with non-native speakers because she's a surfer as well. So a lot of her friends come from all over the world. And when they get together, what language do they speak? Not Arabic, not French, not German, but English. And do your friends use big fancy academic words when you guys hang out?
No.
No.
No, it's very easy.
It's very easy. And this is how you do it. So down to the crux, guys. What is really, really important is that you relax. You relax and try and don't try too hard. The moment you start trying too hard, it gets weird. So think a little bit less and feel more. Think less and feel more. And I've said this before, you guys have to feel the language. It has to be under your skin. And I know that it's tough at times. You feel intimidated by everyone speaking, but there comes a moment where you just need to throw yourself in. One of my tips that I will share with you right now is that it's not always necessary to speak. All right. And I know that now we're talking about speaking like a native. What are you talking about? I'm going to answer your question in a second. But in the beginning, when you start hanging out with native speakers and you want to learn how to be comfortable around native speakers and speaking in English, you can also just take a seat back and listen. listen to what they say. This is also going to help you with regards to the topic. Maybe you're not familiar with the topic that they're talking about. That's happened a couple of times.
Yeah. They laugh.
You know, it happens.
What does that mean?
You know, we don't know everything about everything. So sometimes you don't know much about the topic. So you can just sit back and listen and focus on your comprehension skills and your feedback skills. So making sure that the person that is speaking knows that you are listening to them. So you're not looking at your phone because that's just rude, but you're looking at them and perhaps you're nodding or your eyebrows are raised, or you're using little filler words like or ah, wow. Don't say that's interesting, because it doesn't work. And it just says, I didn't understand a thing that you just said. All right. So use those filler expressions like ah, wow, to indicate to the speaker that you are listening to them. So you can focus on that. So you don't always have to be talking. And that's something that you can do just to start your transition into becoming a more natural speaker of the language. A question here: what is your opinion of people who are looking for just learning one accent, for example, British? My opinion is you're going to have a very, very hard time doing that, because it's not about one accent anymore. It's about global English. 1 out of 10 people that you speak to in English will be a native speaker of the language. Everybody else speaks English as a second, third, or fourth language. In my own family, 3 individuals are non-native speakers of the language in my immediate family. So I don't recommend really that you focus on one accent only. You can, but I think it will be tough, because you would have to go and find movies with just that accent, a teacher that speaks only with that particular accent, as well as finding friends that only speak with that accent. You're going to sort of put yourself in a position where you don't understand people that speak English of different varieties. There are hundreds of varieties of English, just like in other languages. So I hope that answers your question. I could probably speak another 5 hours about that, but we need to move on. So I spoke about my first tip, and that was to transition into speaking more comfortably and naturally with native speakers. If you can also just listen, sit back, listen, and demonstrate that you are in fact listening and understanding what the person is saying. And then you can maybe go afterwards and do a little research, like, wow, I don't know anything about, religion. Let me do some research. So next time you have something to say. Excuse me. The next one I want to talk about is something that I spoke about a lot last week, and that is you really, really, really need to focus on colloquialisms, everyday expressions, and phrasal verbs, right? Because they form 80% of our everyday language, and there's just no getting around it. In 20 minutes of a movie that we watched for one of our club lessons, in just 20 minutes, there were over 17 phrasal verbs and over 7 colloquialisms. It doesn't sound like a lot, but if you looked at the phrasal verbs, all of them were regular phrasal verbs used in really uncommon ways. What? Yeah. So these are the words that are used every day by the native speakers, and you really need to do that. And last week I spoke at length about it. You are welcome to go and check out the videos. I give tips on how to deal with learning the phrasal verbs and colloquialisms. Hi, Sergio. How's it?
On Instagram, people that said hi.
Hi, Nura. Anwar. Nice that you could join us. Right, I've said this already, but tip number 3, do not use big, fancy words. They do not make you sound more intelligible, which means clear, by the way, it doesn't mean intelligent. And technical words or academic words, please, guys, nobody understands when you say that your patella hurts. Okay? Am I right? It's a knee.
You're gonna laugh. Someone's gonna laugh.
Okay, it's a knee.
My patella.
How's it, Joy? It's not a patella, it's a knee. So say it like it is. Don't use those words. Even at conferences, specialized conferences, professional meetings, at the end of the day or at the end of the meeting, you have to network. And that's where your general English comes up. So if you want to make those connections, if you want to be confident and relaxed, please do not use big, fancy academic technical words. Go with everyday English. In a more formal environment, yes, the advice stands, but don't use any slang. Bringing me to my fourth tip. It is good practice to familiarize yourself with a little bit of local slang. Not too much, because non-native speaking people that overuse slang sound like they're trying too hard, and it sounds a little bit strange. Yes, I know you agree. All right, it sounds a little bit odd. So in South Africa, for example, some slang that you want to learn are words like braai on day one when you arrive. Shop. I know that Sala uses it quite a lot. Is it? Shame. Sami, you want to eat a Sami? Those are some of the more common words that as a student, as a non-native speaker, you want to use here in South Africa. But here we're talking local. Wherever you are in the world, it's not a bad idea to familiarize yourself with some of the slang, because they use it, right? Remember the example about the dinner party? Let's organize a dinner party. What did she say?
Let's have a braai.
Let's have a braai, because that's what we do. We have braais. We don't.
We have dinner parties, but I have braais.
But we do have our dinner parties are braais. So you bring and you braai. So a little bit of slang is important because they use it, and therefore you need to understand it. Lekker! That's it. There's one. Okay. All right. Another one is really important, and I mentioned this before when I said that I'm very fond of him. Look at her body language.
He's nice.
He's nice. All right. So use your whole body when you speak. You need to be expressive. Let the vocabulary be carried by your body. All right. There's a big fancy word for it, which we won't use. Hello, Monique.
Hi.
Hello, Monique. The facial expressions and the gestures are so important. They're so important, guys, because a simple word like nice becomes nice. You see, I know you know that I've got students that are watching me saying, but teacher, you told me not to use nice.
Yeah, teacher's sister said you can.
You can if you use it like that.
Like this.
If you use it like that, nice. Then yes.
There we go.
Nice. Yes, Elise. Nice. All right. So you've absolutely got to get into your body, feel it out. And when you've decided to sit back and listen, observe those native speakers. What are they doing? It's like planet Earth for humans. Yeah. All right. Then this is something that I can't stress enough, guys, and that is increase your world knowledge. Please don't go out thinking that talking about the weather and about where you come from in the world is enough. It's not. You're going to get stuck. I'm not saying that native speakers are all they've got this massive bank of general knowledge. They don't, but they carry what they like to do with their language, right? So it's really important that you don't just focus on what you're familiar with. Start reading. TED Talks are great. Do crossword puzzles. They're not my favorite, but they do increase your vocab, right?
Yeah.
She's been doing them. Every now and then it makes her mad.
It makes me mad.
It makes her mad. So when you're reading and watching movies, listening to podcasts, and doing crosswords, etc., what you want to watch out for is falling into the trap of watching and reading things that you always do like. So let's say, for example, you love horses, right? So you only watch movies that are related to horses and you read about horses. So it's going to help your world knowledge. You've also got to branch out into other topics, right? So if you want to really blend in, you need to be able to talk about pretty much anything. And it's okay to say, I don't know, I don't have a clue. It's really great what you're talking about, but I've actually got I haven't got much to say about it because I don't know anything about this topic. So you've used language to express that you don't know much about it with respect. So you're still using your English to say something. And then you sit back and you listen. How many times has that happened? It happens. It happens. For example, I didn't know much about Islam. And so I sit back and listen to my students about what they say and learn about their cultures and their culture and their tradition. And so now I've got a better bank of knowledge with regards to that religion. It could be about anything at all. So you must be able to contribute to social conversations. And in order to do that, you need to read, watch TED Talks, do those crossword puzzles to increase your vocab, watch the movies. How's it, Shahad? Wow, it's been a while. The topics in a social situation could be really anything from, news on social media, God forbid. Talking about unique hobbies. How many funky hobbies do your friends have? Loads. Her friends have got so many interesting hobbies. Loves, hates, aspirations for the future, relationships. Why not? Books, movies. It could be anything that you could find, I don't know, on social media, on a social media feed, for example. So in order to confidently blend in, you also need to consider your world knowledge. Guys, it's imperative. All right, so let me go back and recap. The first thing, you've got to listen. Sit back, listen, make sure that the speaker knows that you are listening to them. Give them feedback signals like nodding or raising your eyebrow. Oh, wow, use those fillers. Really important, and it's a good way for you to transition from being the nervous non-native speaker who doesn't know what to say to moving into having a conversation. Then focus on those colloquialisms and those phrasal verbs and expressions. They form the largest part of the language with native speakers of the language. That's the language that they use. They do not say they emulsify the soup. They
blitz it.
They blitz the soup. All right. They do not say that their meninge is hurting. They have a headache. All right. Please don't focus on those big fancy words because you come across as if you're trying too hard. Doesn't make you more intelligible. It's weird. It's really strange. You don't want to go there. Familiarize yourself with a little bit of local slang, but just a little bit, the most common ones, because those are the words that you're going to find mixed in when you speak to native speakers. Use your whole body, use your face to carry your message. So a simple word like happy is happy. All right. So use your body and those expressions. And last but not least, you want to increase that world knowledge. You want to be able to blend in and in order to do that, you need to contribute to the conversation. And if you don't know anything about the topic, respectfully say so and sit back and listen. So those are my favorite tips to help you transition into a more confident, natural sounding speaker of the language amongst native speakers as well. I'm just going to say it. I'm putting it out there, guys. It's not something that happens overnight. All right. It takes time. It takes effort, and you've got to put yourself out there. I know that it sounds a little odd now with us all being locked in our homes, but guess what? You can do it online. We actually don't have any excuse. You guys are always on your phones. So find those chats, find those friends, get together, open up groups, and get chatting. All right. Just a reminder for those of you that don't know, English 1 is now online. We have fantastic virtual classrooms as well as private lessons and other online services and social clubs. It's fantastic. If any of you are interested in any of those services or lessons, please reach out to us. I'm going to leave a description. I'm going to leave I've lost my words. I'm going to leave our details in the description box below, and you can reach out to us on one of our social media platforms or WhatsApp or email. With that, I'll leave you. Before, I want to say thank you to Maureen, my fabulous sister, for being my accomplice. She's like...
What happens when you live close by?
Yes. Yesterday, we actually had a whole laugh about the emulsifier. She was kind of my inspiration for it, because she said, what?
She's like, oh, I'll get the emulsifier. I'm like,
you mean the blender? All right.
The blender.
So she actually brings me down to earth. Sometimes it is what it is. So I see everyone's laughing, Lily. Yes. So a big thank you to my sister. I would kiss her, but she doesn't allow it, especially not live. So
and it's Corona.
Yeah, and it's Corona.
I've already got a message. Don't touch your face.
Thank you very much. It was really awesome.
Thanks,
again, guys, it was great chatting to you this evening, and I'll see you guys tomorrow night at 5 p.m. Cheers. Bye. Raquel.